You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're on to Sunday Watch. Sunday Watch is a program that comes your way in both Yoruba and English languages. And if you're joining LTV on your cable stations, go to DSTV channel 256, Start Times 113, and Go TV 120. We're also on all the social media platforms. If you want to download the LTV app, all you need to do is to go to your Play Store on your Android devices and download the app. You'll get to watch us from any part of the world. I said earlier that we will be considering a topic. It's a topical issue, really, because it has everything to do with the home. Should courtship end in marriage? The moment marriage proposals start coming up, it's always a thing of joy. The momentum is always high. The pomp and pageantry that follows, it's, regardless of the size, it's always a beauty to behold. That, of course, will certainly depend on the family, the financial strength of the couple, the class of the families involved. But after marriage, what happens? Courtship, yes, before marriage. Then when marriage comes, what are those expected moves from both couples? I have with me on the set Mrs. Moturayo Jackson. Mrs. Moturayo Jackson is a mother, and she's also a marriage counselor. You're most welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. We also have Alhaji Ganiu Odugbeson. You're welcome to the program. He is also, by the grace of the Almighty, a father and also a marriage counselor. You're both welcome, and I really appreciate, the two now for being a part of the show this morning. But I will want to hit the ground running from Alhaji Odugbeson. We're looking at courtship in marriage. When we talk about courtship and marriage, where does courtship, what is courtship, and where does it where does it end?
Okay.
Yeah.
When we say courtship, frankly speaking, is trying to know your customer.
Trying to know your customer.
Yes, wife to be.
Oh, okay. It could also be.
Of course.
Okay. You from your own side now.
Yeah.
The wife
trying
to be.
To know
okay.
who you are.
Okay.
And who I am.
Okay. I underline that word.
Yes.
One another.
Okay. Okay.
At least we'll be able to study a lot of things. The emotion, the character, the behavior, the sentiment, the value, the family background, the culture of the family in general. You'll be able to study them because you are going into what we think we are not coming out from, except death. You understand? Yeah. So before you now go in, all this thing has been studied, must have been studied. Just like as if you want to get an admission into an institution. You must be able to fulfill all the requirements. Okay. So the husband to be will be able to look at, is my wife to be satisfying my requirements? Okay. And the wife to be too will look at, is my husband trying to satisfy my requirements? The two of them will be able to see that if they can cope when they cross over to the marriage settings.
That's the other
so that
side.
is the way we see courtship. So
okay.
Courtship, in most cases, will not lead. If the two of them discover that they are not coherent, they cannot compatible. You understand? They must have studied one another. Probably, let's take for instance now, you met a lady, you understand, and the man in question is a smoker, and probably he has been hiding because the wife doesn't love. The wife to be does not love a smoker. So immediately you get
into,
you discover that he smokes. Then it's not for you, not being blindfolded by love that is going to change. You know, somebody who's had an habit for you, you understand, because he didn't want to get you in, will surely show you that habit when you are in the system. When
you're fully in,
you understand? Yes. So, but somebody who is not hiding it, to be able to take a personal decision. That is why you must study that person holistically. You understand? From the beginning, you understand? Even if you are going to do it with patient to study that person, it's very, very important.
Let me remain with you. What if the individual, the other partner, the other customer, did not get to know until marriage that the person getting engaged with is a smoker?
Then the problem will not be, there will be problem in that.
It's a cross
Of
for her
course.
to carry.
You understand? So now it's now left for her to, see, that means the mistake has been made. So it's now left for her to make a decision, either to go along
or to withdraw.
To withdraw.
Two very straight answers. Okay. Now, Mrs. Jackson, you know, you heard his own parts of courtship. If I want to ask you, how long, you know, he said it's a time of studying each other.
Yes.
You know, a party of two, studying each other. For how long should courtship ordinarily last? That is, if it has, you know, a period, a given period, that is, if it should have a given period, and what are those, you know, factors, what are those qualities each one of them should look out for?
Thank you, ma'am. Courtship should, in my own opinion, does not actually have a time frame.
Okay.
But it should not be too long.
Okay.
Maybe from a period of 3 months, max to 2 years.
Okay.
To 2 years. So those periods, you will need it to understand who I am trying to live, I will try to live my life with for the rest of my life. You check the emotions, the habits, the financial obligations, capability of your partner to be.
Okay.
If you are trying to go into marriage and you are courting someone and you go out on a date or you take yourself to a restaurant to just have snacks or whatever, and you know that person is stingy, very stingy.
Okay.
And it's not as if he does not have the money. But he's stingy. He's always allowing you to pay for everything. My ATM is not here. Oh, I forgot it.
Giving excuses.
Giving excuses
all
the time.
to shy away from
responsibility.
Should being a miserly be a factor if you are stingy? Should it be a factor? I want, you know, it should be a factor.
It should be a factor.
Because in future,
both hands now these days, both hands should be on deck to work for the good of the home. It's not only one person's load. And as a woman too, you should have something that you are doing to bring something to the table. You should not leave everything to the man. But as a man, you don't think that, okay, this lady I'm trying to go into marriage with is successful. She has what it takes. Then you use that one as an excuse. You don't want to bring anything at all. It's every time your ATM is missing. Oh, the network is bad. Okay, help me. Help me to pay. Then you will not refund.
Okay, and he will not refund. That's the most.
We are supposed to be help me.
Help me.
Yeah. So
if I may come in,
yes, you can come in.
When we talk about stinginess, it depends on the perspective you want to look at.
You are viewing it, okay, so it's relative.
Very relative. Very, very
How is it relative?
Yes, I will explain to you. You see, when you are into courtship, perhaps you meet a lady that is too flamboyant and too expensive. And you want to believe, as a man, you must have a future for yourself, you must have a career, you must think of what to be done. You understand? You met a lady that you want us to go on to clubbing all the time. You want us to go for outing all the time. He has not been able to plan with you. How will our life be? You understand? You are living in a rented apartment. How will you move from that rented apartment? But all the time clubbing, buying expensive clothes, buying expensive this.
That is why courtship. That's why you are into courtship.
That's why I said.
You need to know yourself. There are some things you ask yourself. There are some things you talk about. It's not about discovering it. There are some things you purposely talk about.
But do you agree with me that there are some ladies that are like that?
That
they are not even after life. They just want to enjoy the immediate environment.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So when you meet a lady like that, so a man may think of, because in relationship, in a courtship, there's possibility of the two factors changing their pattern of life, and that is, of course, changing the pattern of life. So if a man will be able to change the lady's idea of life, you understand? Of course, to suit his, you understand, they can move on. So, and at the same,
of the man changing his
of course, that's why I said the two
to suit the woman.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? It's vice versa.
You meet at the middle.
Madam, it's vice versa. You understand? Of course, they meet at the middle. It's vice versa. So if you meet a man that is stingy about taking care of the family, you can with your own orientation, you can change his pattern of life. You understand? It's perspective. And then this
you
man
say
will
you
change.
can change the pattern of life with
course.
your own. I
You
want
can
to
change.
believe that you
You
cannot
can
change
change.
anybody.
You can change. Cause
Okay.
you can
can't
change.
change
Hold on.
anybody.
Okay, let's really, you know, establish this. She is saying that you can't change anybody.
No. You
But
can change. You can change.
he is saying it
Courtship
from
can
the
change.
pers-
If there is love,
let's hear
have feelings for yourself.
Let's hear Mrs. Jackson.
You understand? You can drop your smoking habits if you love that lady. That's an example. That's what you're saying. That's what calls courtship now.
It's not the lady that is changing.
The lady that is not dressing
it is
very
you.
well.
Okay. Because you
It's-
love the person,
it's
you
the
want to
courtship.
change
Of
yourself
course.
because
So
of her.
then
It's not that person
you won't say that-
pressuring you to change.
It's not pressurized. You know, the issue of pressure.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's the angle I'm coming
Her
from, that you
own
can't
angle,
change.
Yeah.
her own
pressure.
angle
Now,
is this.
let's listen to Mrs. Jackson now.
Genuinely.
Mrs. Jackson
Alaji,
has.
give
hold
it to
on.
her. Okay, now
Mrs.
go ahead.
Jackson has a lot to contribute
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
She certainly differ with your opinion.
Okay.
But I want you to really, you know, put your own opinion to a reasonable
Of course.
end. So I won't mind if you go ahead, then Mrs. Jackson will come
Okay.
in
It's
with
okay.
her
Thank
own
you. Thank you, man.
thoughts.
You see, in relationship, you are cutting. Everybody has come with different character and makeup. But let me say, different background. So when you now meet, I love you, I love you. That's the first thing you want to tell yourself before you start. Then, having known that what you are not from the same family, you are not the same parent, you don't know yourself before.
Background, yes.
You will continue to see one thing. That is why you see people that are cutting. You understand? Will say, this that you are doing, I don't like it. You understand? A lady can be nagging. You understand? For instance, now. So when you discover that what, she will become incorrigible when you get married. You understand? And she cannot correct herself and make amends at that courtship process. You know you are going for your own market.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that is just that. Then a man too, that is always giving an excuse on one thing or the other. You understand? I also have some habits that relate with. At least we have met some people that will say, I don't want my husband to be drinking. And you are the one that you are the type that drinks. So if you know genuinely you love, it is not to pressurize you before you stop that drinking habit. You will drop it genuinely because of the love you have for her, because you want to have her. You understand? The two of you should be able to manage to change your character, to suit one another, to blend, to have a meeting point where you both agree that, okay, we are good to go for marriage.
Okay.
You understand? So religion is another factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why we say, for instance, now, when I married my own wife, she was a Christian. You understand?
Okay.
So, and we are relating. The father gave us the go ahead that she can marry because she's a lady. That a lady does not have a religion. While in some family, they will say a lady have a religion. So when we got married, you understand, she was practicing her religion, I was practicing my own religion. So it was when I now went on holy pilgrimage where she now promised me that coming back that she would not be good at an allergy. You understand? You understand?
Okay.
But at the point of cutting one another, you understand, we have not given it as a problem. So if it has been a problem, it is possible we are not married today.
We wouldn't have gotten married.
That's just that.
Okay, so let's hear your own view, Mrs.
Yes.
Jackson.
In courtship, one should be open. There should be openness. My Bible says they were naked and they were not ashamed. Nakedness in this place, not being nude. Just be open. There are some people that will pretend along the line because they just want to have that lady or you want to have that man for all, at all costs. So when the lady says, I don't like you smoking, say yes, ma'am. You will not smoke. When the man says, I don't like the way you are dressing, say yes. But then, because they have an end goal, that this man, whatever it takes, I'm going to have you. Okay. Or this lady, whatever it takes, I'm going to have you. We have men or guys that go to church and pretend to be Christians. Not even ordinary Christians, they become to be saints in quotes. They are Christians, they worship because they know that that sister is a church person. Okay. She's a Christian, she's born again, and whatever you have to do must
they have
go.
They have seen the wife material in her.
Then you have to pretend to be all true till after marriage.
Okay. So, but pretense is really out of the game.
Yes, pretense should be out of it. So,
pretense,
like the change I'm saying, it changes ways. Turn to be another person. Then after marriage, it became his real self.
You know, reality really has showed that a lot of people go to such extent to get a woman.
So if a party out of the two go into pretense, you know that you have already created my problem in the future.
In the future.
That's just that.
But let's look at the other side of courtship. Many times it will be rosy. So many times it will be so fantastic. you endure a lot. You go out, just as you said, you take each other on outings and all that. Okay, you talk for hours without getting bored.
But yes.
Then marriage comes in. When marriage comes, we have seen a lot of instances where relationships, will just go sour. Then you wonder what could be responsible. We went through courtship. You said no matter what, if a man had made his decision, the man should be ready to drop one or two things, just in conformity with that the other party. Yes. But when marriage comes, should courtship end? No, straight.
No.
Why should it not end? What are those benefits that comes with it?
Because when you are cutting yourselves, you want to see yourself every time. You want to be with the person every time. You want to hear the person's voice every time. If you have not heard his voice or her voice, you are not complete that day. You will not even sleep. You will be the last person to talk to you. You will be the first person to wake you up in the morning. But despite the fact that he has a job or she has a job, they still create time for themselves. But after marriage, like I said, you say, at least I want me to bank. You are now mine. Will I be cutting you again? Then you now leave that lady, or you now leave that man. You always dress, you always dress to impress him or him or her. Then when you get married, at least this is my home. I can do whatever I like. Okay. You now look unkept. As a woman, your hair
is so untidy.
And
they'll be even reminding you. It's like you have to go and make hair.
Sometimes my husband came and said, you are not smelling fine. What am I not smelling?
Complacency.
I'm okay now. He said, no, you are not smelling fine. I had to go back to the bedroom, add my bath, freshen up, spray all the. I said, hey, that's the lady, that's my baby.
That's the lady I caught.
So some of the things we used to do, where we were trying to impress ourselves, cutting ourselves,
we drop them when marriage comes.
And you feel very relaxed, but at least the end goal, the goal has been achieved.
Okay. Should there be the man or the woman relax when, the flowery part of courtship, should it end when marriage sets in?
No.
So?
Because I quickly want to react to
what she said earlier.
You see, it depends on the definition that we give to it. When we say courtship and marriage, to me, they are two different things. Except we are now introducing courtship in marriage.
In marriage.
Because precisely we say courtship. Courtship is the process, is a period where you are dating yourself, you're getting to know yourself. There was nothing like marriage, no blissful whatsoever, no ring, nothing. You understand? That's it.
No children.
So when you are satisfied, you understand, you have passed, then you can ask, okay, let us go and take care. Let's go for marriage. You understand where you want to exchange it. So you can. That's courtship is maybe temporary. You understand? It may lead to marriage. So when it leads to marriage, it is permanent.
Okay. So
that
when
is
it
that
leads
is
to
the
marriage,
assumption. So that is the assumption. So when you now get into marriage, you can now introduce what we call courtship into marriage. That is, the two partners will introduce it.
Okay.
So
how will they achieve that?
Of course, trying to do what you were doing when you were still outside. You understand? You get the point now.
Okay.
All of us, if we are not to deceive ourselves, we know that when you are still cutting, I want to see her, I want to do this, I want to do that, you understand? But sometimes you will later, then you will feel relaxed, you understand? That is the question you now ask. That the two of them should not relax. Because if you relax, then that woman, you understand, may be bored. And that man too may be bored. You understand? Of course. So
keep the marriage going and ever, in love.
Then you are the type that must look for what to call sweet words to call your wife or your husband. You understand? So that couldn't have any Baba Chinedu, Baba Emeka, you understand? Like I always take my time.
Do you also agree with him there?
Yes.
My wife do take me for outing at times.
Okay,
So just say, okay, their daddy. In fact, this one I came back from Aja, always she now calls me Alaji. But then before then, she'll call me dear.
Okay now.
You understand? I didn't know mẹ́rin, but tí kọ́ mi díà kì í ṣe bàbá kìíní kan. So why me I will call her Anike? That's one of her favorite names.
No.
So we say let's go out. We'll go out. She will pay. She want to make me happy.
Yes.
You understand? Even now I'm going by my happy. Come and meet me somewhere. Come and meet me. You understand?
Okay.
Understand? So we are trying to. But you see, in marriage, what makes your marriage to get sour? There are a lot of things to man sell in there. We have can come from the husband, can come from the wife, can come from the family, can be religion, can be. But when we talk about the wife and the husband, the two of them must be original with themselves.
They must be original with themselves.
They must be intentional.
Originality,
Intentional. Want to make this marriage work.
Of course, thank you very much. You understand? Because kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ní ṣẹra yín.
Originality.
You understand?
Intentionality. Òyìnbó wo ẹ mọ ìyá mi lóyìnbó lọ alájí o. Ó ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín o. Èmi ti ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín.
You must have a forgiving spirit.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ẹ wà forgiving.
Thank you very, very
much. Ẹ wà forgiving ní àyè báyìí. Àbí adúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run láàárọ̀ yìí abẹ́ẹ̀rí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní bílé san bílé ò san yóò bá bọ̀ ó ní àwọ̀ báyìí ó náà ní àwọ̀ wọ́n yìí sọ fún àwọn ní ilé báyìí ó náà láti kẹ́ṣọ̀ àti kó ròde bó la ṣe wá fẹ́ kẹ́ṣọ̀ ròde nínú ilé gan tí ò sẹ́ṣọ̀ nínú ilé gan táwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ gan tí wọ́n mẹ̀ṣọ́ àbí ebi kí la fẹ́ kó ó náà là ń sọ láàárọ̀ yìí pé ǹjẹ́ ó yẹ kí tọkọ-tìyàwó kí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ bára wọn dọ̀rẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe pẹ́pẹ́ fúrú à ń dọ̀rẹ́ ó ṣáà ti yé yín kí wọ́n sọra wọn dọ̀rẹ́ múlẹ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ara wọn kí wọ́n fi mọ̀ ara wọn kó tó di pé wọ́n fẹ́ ara wọn sílé ó là ń sọ ní àárọ̀ yìí pé ǹjọ́ tiẹ̀ di dandan ṣé dandan ni àbí dandan kọ́ àbí ká ṣáà ti ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ sí rí ká sì wọlé náà ni ó là ń sọ ní àárọ̀ yìí bàbá wa wà ní orí àpèrè àìsí gbọ́ tí wọ́n ti òyìnbó ìmọ̀ gà láàárọ̀ yìí o Alhaji Abdul Gani Odugbesan ẹ ṣeun gan ni àdúpẹ́ nítorí pé apè yẹn ti ẹ̀ jẹ́ wa wọ́n wá tìfìlà ní Ọlọ́run mo fẹ́ lè bèrè ká àbáwọn àti first lady ni wọ́n jọ tún wọlé ìbòmíyà adákẹ́ mútó torí Alhaji Salaji náà ní gbogbo ààrẹ náà àdúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run àti ọmọ wa àwọn náà wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní àárọ̀ yìí arábìnrin Jackson ẹ̀wọ̀n káàárọ̀ kò sí ẹyẹ ti gèlè yìí Ọlọ́run gbogbo èdè kí ni ó champagne délẹ̀ ni Ọlọ́run gbọ́ adúpẹ́ nítorí pé a pè wọ́n tí wọ́n jẹ́ wa wọ́n ní ẹ ṣáà nígbà tí wọ́n ń sọ náà arábìnrin Jackson dájì ẹ ṣe tẹ ìyọ̀ǹda wọn fún wa jàre wọn ò ní pẹ́ wá bá yín nínú ilé ẹ̀ ń gbádùn wọn láti tún gbójú yín pé tó wo ìyàwó yín rèé o bọ́n ṣe dùn tó bàbá wa Odugbesan káàárọ̀ sà ọ̀dọ̀ yín náà lákòókò ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nítorí pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Ọlọ́run ti fi yín sórí náà ẹ̀ ní dìrù ǹjọ́ tiẹ̀ pọn dandan pé a ti ríra wa ọkùnrin ti rí torí wọ́n ní tí ọkọ bá ti mojú aya tán wọ́n ní alárinà ẹ̀ǹgbà alárinà bá wá yẹ̀bá tó kẹ̀yìn méjèèjì ṣó tún yẹ pé torí àwọn bàbá wa látijọ́ alárinà ni wọ́n wà láàrin wọn alárinà báyìí sì yẹ̀bá àjẹpọ̀ káwọn méjèèjì ìgbéyàwó ti ṣe kí ni ó kù fẹ́rẹ́fẹ́ àbí ǹjẹ́ ó wá yẹ lẹ́yìn ìgbà náà torí àwọn ọmọ ayé òde òní àwọn òtẹ̀lẹ̀ alárinà kankan mọ́ ní tiwọn òyìnbó ti yọ alárinà sí gbó social media ni àṣẹ nǹkan òun náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe wá rí bó ti rí gbogbo pẹ́pẹ́ fúrú gbogbo àjọ ń dọ̀rẹ́ lójú ọ̀nà ǹjẹ́ ó yẹ ká tún gbé wọ inú ìgbéyàwó àbí tó bá ti fẹ́ ra wa tán ó parí síbẹ̀ náà ni.
gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe ṣàlàyé ní
lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì lẹ́sọ̀ mọ́ mi ń wò mí nínú ilé.
ó ṣe pàtàkì kéèyàn gbé pẹ́pẹ́ fúrú yẹn kó gbé wọnú ìgbéyàwó torí kíyàwó yẹn kó lè pẹ́ kó lè dùn kó lè láàrin kó má ṣe yọ̀nú bẹ̀ torí pé tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá gbé wọnú ẹ̀ a máa sú lọ́kọláya ó lè kọ́kọ́ kò sẹ́ni tí ó lè kọ́kọ́ sú náà méjèèjì then mi mo gbọ́n fẹ́ sọ kí ní Yorùbá pé wọ́n lè resist some pressures tó jẹ́ negative pressures.
gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó bá wà ń bẹ̀ tó ní wọ́n lára àwọn méjèèjì ò ní lè fara dà á.
torí pé tí wọ́n bá gbé pẹ́pẹ́ fún yẹn wọ ọbẹ̀ tó bá gbé wọ ọbẹ̀ wọ́n á sì máa wọ pé ohun mi ni mo fẹ́ ìwọ náà mi ni mo fẹ́ kò sí nǹkan tí ó lè yà wá bá ti ń promise ara wa tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tá a gbé wọnú ìgbéyàwó tó bá ti fẹ́ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ díà kí ni yóò sọ pé wọn wá sí báyìí báyìí kí ló wá tún ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sáà yẹn náà máa ní ọ̀ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ so wọ́n á sì máa tó bá ti di pé wọ́n gbé wọnú ìgbéyàwó àwàdì pé kálukú ń rin tiẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀tọ̀ àwàdì pé wọ́n jọra wọn lójú àwàdì pé wọ́n pín ilé ńgbà mí so wọ́n máa jẹ́ kí ilé ń dàrú.
Alhaji inú mi dùn torí pé ọ̀dọ̀ yín gangan ni mo fẹ́ kí ìbéèrè yìí kó lọ àwọn bàbá wa ó bí mi ìfariwo mi ìfẹ́ wà mo ṣe ń ti bí sẹ́bọ̀ mi ìfẹ́ wàhálà kì í sì rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n bá kọ́kọ́ di pé wọn àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n ṣe pẹ́pẹ́ fúru ojú ọ̀nà tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ra wọn sílé wọ́n lè rojọ́ látàárọ̀ wọ́n sì ra wọn báyìí wọ́n ti tún ra wọn sí wọ́n sì padà wá orí fóònù ni o pè mí padà ọwọ́ ń ro mí wọ́n lè gbé pílò tí kí ló wá dé tó fi jẹ́ pé ní ṣókí náà ní wàá dé tá bá ti ṣègbéyàwó tán kí ló fà á.
ibẹ̀ yẹn ọwọ́ ọkọ ló pọ̀ sí jù.
àná mo ṣe bí yín.
nítorí ẹ̀ fi pọ̀ sọ́wọ́ ọkọ jù ni pé nígbà tó ń jẹ́ wà lọ́nà ẹnìkan àti ẹnìkan ni ṣẹ́gẹ́ ti sin ó possible pé wọ́n ti ẹ̀sán ọjọ́ sanwó lé ara wọn ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ti wá papọ̀ nísìn alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ bẹ̀ wọ́n á kọ́ sanwó lé ẹni tí òun rí tẹ́lẹ̀ tó ń fún ní 1,000 naira kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ 1,000 àti wá wọnú ilé mọ́ nísìn ó ti di pé jíjẹ mímu àlàáfíà ẹ̀ gbogbo ọrùn ẹ̀ ló wà á wá kúrò mbẹ́ àtúbọ̀ sí bí oyún ẹgẹ́ ti sin bùkátà tuntun fẹjú sí ni ọmọ tún délẹ̀ ọmọ kìíní ọmọ kejì àwọn ọmọ tún dàgbà wọn tún lọ léèwé ẹ̀sìn náà sáà nísìn torí pé ọkùnrin tó bá mojú ṣe lé mọ́ yìí pé àwọn kìíní yẹn ń wọ òun lọ́rùn obìnrin á dẹ̀ máa gbé wá ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ ló máa wá lo ọkàn yìí pé mo ti mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ pé mo ti rí oko ikún mo ti rí oko lóko ikún
kí n tó gbẹ̀pà sí
wọ́n máa ń sọ fún wa káà tó fẹ́ yàwó pé kì í ṣe wípé
àti tó yàwó òtò yẹn wọ́n ní kò tó pọ́n owó ọbẹ̀ ló ṣòro.
nísìnyí tó ń ṣe yanga lọ rántí pé ìyàwó ní kọ́kọ́ ló fẹ́ fọwọ́ lé o bùkátà ẹ̀ times 3 ni torí pé ọmọ àwọ̀ bẹ̀ ẹbí ìyàwó àwọ̀ bẹ̀ ṣẹ́kẹ́tì nísìn torí òòṣà lè rí ìyàwó ẹ̀ kó wá kí ẹ kó sọ pé ẹ̀kẹ́tì nísìn bàbá ìyàwó náà ṣẹ́kẹ́tì nísìn àbúrò ìyàwó àwọn nǹkan mẹ́yà á wọlé tó jẹ́ pé o máa jẹ́ bùkátà ti tiẹ̀ fún ọkùnrin tó bá lójú tì tó dẹ̀ mọ́jú sí ẹ̀ ẹ̀tì náà sáà so òun ló yẹ máa ń fa gbàgbé tó pé ó lè bọ́ sí kànáà fọkùnrin nígbà tó wá di pé kìnìún yóò sílẹ̀ bọ̀ tó gbáyé pé ìyàwó ọkọ tó nà tọ́ fún ìyàwó tí ìyàwó gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyàwó tó ti mọ bó ṣe rí tẹ́ẹ̀ fi kankan bù fara yín tó wá di òun gan fúnra ẹ̀ gan máa cover ọkọ ẹ̀ up in some places pé ṣẹ́gẹ́ sísìn so òun máa jẹ́ kí yẹn jẹ́ kí inú ọkọ dùn pé ìyàwó mi mọ̀ mi ó ń bò mí láṣìírí ọkọ náà dé àwa mọ̀ fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ tó ń bò láṣìírí torí pé ojúṣe tó yẹ kó ṣe kò ṣe kò lè fi múnú ìyàwó àtàwọn
kò fi múnú ìyàwó àti ọmọ dùn àdúpẹ́.
so pressure ló máa ń fà tí ọkùnrin máa fi ń kọ́ra responsibility eléyìí tábà wò lọ́tún lọ́sì ó pọ̀ gan-an àwa lè.
pé àwọn ẹrù tí wọ́n ti dìlé ọkọ lórí náà ló fà tí ó fi ń kanra wọ́n ló lè bọ́ sí kanra ńgbà míì ló ń ṣàánú àwọn dáàdì wa ni. jẹ́ ká padà lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ mi wa ìyá Jackson ó ga inú mi dùn gbé sọ léèbù lẹ́ẹ̀kan inú mi dùn òótọ́ lẹ sọ o Ọlọ́run inú mi dùn tó mú sí fẹ́ káwọn ará ilé náà kí wọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ní ààrẹ àwọn obìnrin gbàtà bá wà ń ta Ọlọ́run gbọ́ àti èyí sọ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ní stúdíò náà ni pé àwọn kan máa fi 1 million wọ́n náà fi ń ṣe kátúnjú ṣe make over make up make ọrùn make apá láì nìkan bá ní tó yóò pọ̀ jù ní àsìkò ní kálukú àbí ìgbà lónígbà ká ní jẹ́ ìlògbà tèmi wọ́n lògbà tí wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ni ìyá wa tá a bá ṣe gbogbo àwọn pẹ́pẹ́ fúrú yẹn tán pé ọ̀bọ yìí ń bọ̀ ó ń bọ̀ àbá mi lọ́fíìsì tẹ́ ti ṣe pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ láti ilé ẹ̀ ti ṣe ẹ̀ tí ń wá sí ọ́fíìsì ẹ̀ tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ẹ ṣáà ń túnra yín ṣe dáadáa kí ló wá ń dé ń gbòjẹ́ pé wá ti wá di mọ́mì nínú ilé tán àwọn àrò ẹ̀rẹ̀ lèmi yóò àrò sọmọ́ yàrá rẹ̀ ọkàn dára nù sá yóò rò sọmọ́ yàrá rẹ̀ yóò máa pọ̀ ohun ìyá kí ló fà á ìyá mi.
ṣe olóòtú ara àwọn nǹkan tí ó lè fà á ni pé
ṣé ìjọra ẹni lójú ni àbí
ìjọra ẹni lójú o
ó lè jẹ́ gbèrágà pé mo ti bí sí o.
ẹni náà ó lè ti gbàgbé rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ilé lè ti pọ̀ jù kó má mọ̀ ó lè má mọ̀ o gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tí wọn ò kì í ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn full housewife in fact iṣẹ́ ló ń ṣe
iṣẹ́ ni o ìyá mi
iṣẹ́ ni full housewife in fact ó bẹ́tà pé kí obìnrin jáde kó lọ ṣiṣẹ́ tàbí kó ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù ju kó jókòó sínú ilé lọ kó máa ṣiṣẹ́ nínú ilé because tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ nínú ilé wàá fẹ́ tún gbogbo inú ilé ṣe ó ráyè fún ara tiẹ̀ o ìgbà míì kò mọ̀ kò ráyè fún ara tiẹ̀ ìgbà míì ṣe mọ̀ pé tíyàn bá lóyún oyún máa ń túyàn dà ó máa kọ́kọ́ kàn tiẹ̀ ṣe bó ṣe wù ú Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó ṣe wá dáadáa kó ṣe àwọn ọmọ wa dáadáa ìyẹn gan ní lè ṣe nǹkan tó wù yín ìbò bí oyún yẹn bá ṣe gbà ibi tó bá ti darí ẹ̀ sí ló máa darí ẹ̀ sí tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá tún wá bímọ àkókò yẹn ẹ máa fún àwọn ọmọ yín ọmọ Ọlọ́run máa fún wa ní ọmọ ọmọ tó máa fún wa ní ìyọnu.
ọmọ gbàjẹ́ ń sinmi.
tó máa fún wa ní troublesome child. ọmọ tó máa kí because they are just coming into it. ṣe wọnú ẹ̀ ni. This is your first issue. ọmọ yẹn wá ń kékeré látàárọ̀ o ò tiẹ̀ mú kan tó máa ṣe o gbégbá kò ṣe gbé àwọn ọmọ kan tó yẹ pé ọ̀rẹ́ ìyá wọn ni ẹni pọ̀ di ògbúdọ̀ gbé wọn. alálọ̀mọ́ ni. so irú yẹn ìgbà wo ni obìnrin yẹn tí kò bá fi tí ó bá wà conscious kó fi ọkàn sí pé
ọkọ mi ò
máa gbọ́dọ̀ bá mi báyìí mo ní láti tún ara ṣe
kọ́kọ́ tó dé
kó portion yẹn kó fi àyè fún
kó fàyè fún kálukú.
even tó ọmọ yẹn bá ń ké ọmọ mi kan ti ń ké gbà yẹn mo tún kú láti gbé lọ sí hospital wọ́n sọ pé kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe mo gbé so tẹ́bá ń wojọ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní abiyamọ kì í gbọ́ ẹkún ọmọ ẹ̀
kó má tàtí
ní fẹ́ gbé ọmọ yẹn sílẹ̀ ẹ ṣáà fẹ́ máa wò lójú ẹ fẹ́ máa gbogbo táyì tẹ́ fi ń wò lójú yẹn ẹ fi ṣe nǹkan míì bóyá abọ́ wà ń bẹ̀ tẹ́ máa fọ̀ ẹ fọ̀ gbogbo nílé wà ń bẹ̀ tẹ́ yẹ kẹ́ tún ṣe ẹ tún ṣe ọmọ yẹn nìkan náà so orí ibi pé òun tọ́jú ọmọ lọ́kọ́ ẹ lọ bíṣẹ́ ibẹ̀ lọ́kọ́ máa tún máa dé wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ rí ọmọ yẹn ó dẹ̀ rí pé ọmọ yẹn náà fún ẹ ní wàhálà yẹn nǹkan àwọn kan míì wà tó jẹ́ pé fúnra wọn ni wọ́n ya ọ̀lẹ.
ìyẹn mo fẹ́ gbọ́ báyìí.
fúnra wọn ni wọ́n ya ọ̀lẹ kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń dí wọn lọ́wọ́ kò sí ìdíwọ́ kò sí ìdìnà ó kàn yẹ pé mo ti fẹ́ ọkọ mi mo ti gbé àwa jókòó a máa wo LTV8 láti àárọ̀
dalẹ́
Africa Magic ni wọ́n wo kéde wọ́n ṣeré kan lórí amóhùnmáwòrán ìyẹn ló máa rùn kò ní mọ̀gbà tí àkókò máa lọ tọkọ tún máa bá níbẹ̀ ìyẹn ni ò dáa.
ìyẹn ni ò dáa adúpẹ́ ìyá wa ṣùgbọ́n tó bá wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ sà ẹ bá ń fi kún.
ṣé ní nǹkan tó sọ yẹn ó correct to some extent o but to some extent we agree o ṣe rí obìnrin kọ́lọ́n kó ṣàánú fún wọn ni tí wọ́n bá ti délé tán majority wọn kì í ṣe education the only thing we agree ni pé tó bá kú oníṣẹ́ gbé níbi iṣẹ́ tó ń lọ ló máa para mọ́ majority tó mọ̀ wípé
ti délé mi
ẹ ti
délé mi mímú níbí.
then wọ́n bá di pé wọ́n mú ọ̀rẹ́ ládùúgbò lẹ́ẹ̀fì rí wọn tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe kí obìnrin máa rúṣọ mọ́ ẹ̀ láàárẹ̀ n táwọn sọ ni pé nínú kọ́tì bó ti mọ̀ pé ni yóò fẹ́ràn kínní kò jí láàárọ̀ báwo lóbìnrin ti máa jí láàárọ̀ ó fẹ́ fọbọ́ gan kò mí ìpè kò róró mọ́ ya
kó tún róró mọ́ ìyá rẹ̀ tó bá jí
ọmọ sunkún kò mí ìwé pé bóyá pé kò róró mọ́ ya tó bá jí láàárọ̀ tó bí náìtì lówó tó wọ̀ sùn tó bá ti jí láàárọ̀ bóyá gáwọn ló máa wọ̀ bó ṣe wà
sáré bọ̀ kọ́ bọ́jú kò sáré bọ̀
táwọn ìjọba fẹ́ kunlẹ̀kùn ta tí ọkẹ́ òsínlẹ̀ tó fẹ́ lọ sílẹ̀kùn tí èrò tó rí sáyà yẹn náà ló máa fẹ́ sílẹ̀kùn fún tó wá sọ pé o sọ pé òun á give excuse pé òun tọ́jú ọmọ òun balẹ̀ òun fọwọ́ òun ṣe kíní kan.
Alhaji ó ga ṣé ibi tẹ́yìn ti wò yìí
yẹn. ẹ ti understand so obìnrin yẹn kò gbọ́ ìbáwí mọ́ ó
dà kó ó ti mú gbéraga mọ́.
ó lè má jẹ gbéraga ó ti mú ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì bá ọkàn ara ẹ̀ lórí pé mo ti fẹ́ náà.
mo ṣáà ti délé.
àwọn máa di pé ṣàwọn kó tóbìnrin bá ti wá lélẹ̀ ní tí ọkùnrin ti ń gbà mí àdìgbò bí wọn gbọ́dọ̀ ní kó fi mílẹ̀ jàre ta ló ń wò mí ta ló ń ṣe kíní kan ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ta ló ń wò mí tí ò ní sọ lóòótọ́ kò sẹ́ni tó ń wò ẹ́ but ọkọ tiẹ̀ ó fi jẹ́ kó òun ọkọ ẹ mọ́
ọkọ tó ń wò ẹ́ òun mọ́. ìyá wa ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí Alhaji sọ ẹ̀hán dẹ̀ wá ní pé ọbẹ̀ tí bá lè jẹ
ìyálé lè ṣe
ìyálé ilé yìí wọ́n ṣe wọ́n ní láti ojú ọ̀nà pé wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé kọ́ máa máa ro àwọn aṣọ nǹkan mọ́ yà ẹ wọ boxers nínú ilé kẹ mú tọ́ọ̀pù tó dáa kẹ fi lé ẹ láìkí boxers kọ́ wá fi tọ́ọ̀pù tó dáa nínú ilé kọ́ fi sí wọ́n ní ìbòlẹ̀ fi yẹn sí torí bó ṣe ń wọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ fún yín ní kọ́kẹ́ tó fẹ́ ra yín nìyẹn ìbòlẹ̀ wá fi sí.
ó sì ẹ̀ sì lè máa wọ̀ wọ́n yẹn bọ̀ kó wá jẹ́ pé ó ti dọ̀tí
ìró máyà yìí náà ni wọ́n dá mọ̀
ó dọ̀tí kò ráyè láti múra láti túra ṣe
ó dẹ̀ ń tọ́jú ọmọ yìí náà ni
ó dẹ̀ ń tọ́jú ọmọ yìí náà excuse yẹn náà ni
excuse náà ni wọ́n nìyẹn náà ṣé ó wá bá dé àbí kò dáa tó.
kò dáa tó.
kò dáa tó. ẹ ṣeun ṣùgbọ́n tọ́rọ̀ bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé mọ̀yẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ ẹ ní ìtọ́jú ọmọ ńgbà míì àbí ìtọ́jú ilé ńgbà míì tọkọ bá wa bẹ́ẹ̀ tari pé àti ìtọ́jú ara wa tó bá sọ ṣe mọ̀ pé ó yẹ ká fi pẹ̀lẹ́kùtù ká fi àbí ẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tó bá gbẹ̀gbọ̀ ojú dé nǹkan kí ni nǹkan ṣe fún yẹn.
ẹ mọ̀ pé ìsọ̀rọ̀ sí ní gbèsè.
okay now.
nítorí because nínú marriage ó yẹ ká má máa tọra wa ká wà practical ó yẹ ọkọ gan náà tó ń bọ̀ torí ìyàwó ẹ̀ bó ṣe rí no matter nǹkan tó bá ń gbébọ̀ láti ta bóyá aggression àbí nǹkan kan kó má gbé wọnú ilé.
má gbé wọlé.
of course.
ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kí ilé òun tòrò ó mọ bó ṣe máa ṣe ni o ní gbé aggression yẹn ìkanra àbí kankan tó ti ń gbé bọ̀ yẹn tó bá rí ìyàwó ẹ̀ gan tó bá bá ní ipò tí o like tí o nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí báwo ló ṣe báyìí kí o bá jágbe mú ẹ ìwọ náà ti bóyá látàrọ ló ti ń ṣe nǹkan kan tó ṣe àǹtí láti ṣe tí ò bọ́ sí ìwọ náà bí pé ìkanra yẹn gan ti wà lára àwọn náà bó bá jágbe mú ẹ tí ìwọ náà ibi tó ti rò pé èèyàn kan máa rẹ̀ ẹ́ lọ́kàn pé ọkọ mi ti dé ó máa rẹ̀ mí lọ́kàn ó kàn kanra wọn ó máa ràn mí lọ́wọ́ ó kàn kanra mọ́ ẹ nìwọ náà wà á ti jù fún padà pé ṣé mo ń ṣeré látàrọ ni you understand so bàbá ṣe fẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe sí wa ní ká ṣe sí wọn so tó bá wọlé gan èyí tó máa fi pariwo tó máa fi sọ̀rọ̀ sí ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí kò ní bá ikùn ẹ̀ gbé kọ́kọ́ wọlé lọ táì lọ mọ omi tútù ó ṣe kó tó wá wọlé pé ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ látàárọ̀ látàpé iṣẹ́ yìí náà ni obìnrin tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò ní sọ pé sórí ẹ̀ ò pé kò ní sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàǹṣá sí ẹ bọ́ tó kàn wọlé tó bá jẹ́ pé mò ń bọ́ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi bọ́ ń kọ́ kíníkan tó wá pariwo mọ́ mọ̀ nǹkan tí ó ti ń bá pò láti
so ẹ ṣe ìyá wa ṣe pé tá a bá wà ní ojú ọ̀nà tá à ń fẹ́ ara wa á ti mọ àwọn ìwà kọ̀ọ̀kan bíi pé tó irú ẹ máa wo irú àpẹẹrẹ ilé tí mo fẹ́ ṣe báyìí àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n jọ kúrò níbi iṣẹ́ náà ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ti jọ sọ pé tó tá bá kúrò níbi iṣẹ́ lé ní o wá gbé mi lọ sí Èkó o kò sí wàhálà ń bẹ̀ ó yá mọ̀ wùlẹ̀ tí ẹ jẹ́ ń ṣe ọlọ́rọ̀ ní ibi iṣẹ́ dé ṣé kúkú fi sí ìjọ sátidé táyé máa gbà wá méjèèjì ìyàwó ni kò bá jẹ́ ní ó dá ṣàmà kó rọ́jú gbà ó gbà fún ni wọ́n wá dé kò tán ẹ mọ̀ káwọ́ obìnrin àdè máa ń nájà dáadáa ó ná wákàtí kìíní wákàtí kejì wákàtí kẹta ńgbà tí ìyàwó fún máa débi tí ọkọ páàkì sí ọlọ́run gbọ́ bọ̀bọ́ yìí ti lọ ẹnìkan ní bọ̀bọ́ ti lọ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ irú obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ bó irú ipò wo lẹ fẹ́ kó wà àbí báwo ọ̀nà owó àbí kí ni a fẹ́ sọ fún irú obìnrin yẹn ṣé kó nìṣó ńlẹ̀ gbọ́n sọ̀hún nínú irúgbìyàwó bẹ́ẹ̀.
sínú Courtship lọ sí wọn.
àwọn àti ẹ̀ tí fẹ́ra wọn délé rárá.
wọn
lè last.
nítorí pé ọkùnrin yẹn ó ní àdéhùn ó ní àdéhùn gbọ́ kò ní sùúrù ìyàwó kò ní àdéhùn ó ní sùúrù.
a lè sọ pé ìyàwó ò ní àdéhùn.
ó ládéhùn torí kọ́ a ti sọ fún pé táìmù báyìí ló ń fẹ́ kúrò ẹ̀ máa gbọ́ ìyá mi ṣẹ́rí ìdẹ̀sí wọ́n ti gbogbo alámọ̀ bí kò ṣe rí èmi máa ń fi ara mi ṣe practical example máa ń gbé ìyá mi lọ sọ́jà dáadáa lórí nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ yẹn tábà ti fẹ́ kúrò lé màá ti sọ fún Àníkẹ́ aago méjì lèmi máa kúrò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ because kí dẹ̀ ní reason ibi tí mò ń gbé àti Èkó ojúlẹ̀ sí àwọn tí àwọn èèyàn bá ti di pé ó ti ń bọ́ sọ́wọ́ closing time wàhálà máa ń wà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà sáà so obìnrin yẹn tó bá wọnú ọjà á ti máa wò pé time by èmi náà dẹ̀ ní jókòó sí di mọ́tò màá máa ràn lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó máa mọ̀ pé gbèdé bá kó tó ṣe rà máa kó sínú mọ́tò ó ti yẹn sìn ó ti mọ̀ pé two yẹn ni two yẹn tí two bá ti fẹ́ lù màmá náà ló pé two ti fẹ́ lù tí two bá dẹ̀ ti ń bọ̀ òun àti rí pé anxiety mi ti máa high lédè pé mi ìfẹ́ kí two yẹn kó kọjá mi òun náà lè bá mi understanding ni a máa gbé ó wá pẹ́ tán a lè wá fún wa ní plus minus ó máa ń wà.
ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀kan ní dá wọn lẹ̀.
ṣẹ́yìn tó bá jáyàn sílẹ̀ ìwà tó wù ìwà tí ò dá pátápátá gbà
kéèyàn kan sọ wípé tó kò ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ti dénú ilé bá ti ilé mo lè change ẹ̀ yóò mọ̀ bá ń kò lè tó ẹ wò ó àsìkò ní òtí ẹgbà wa tó dé mi láwọn ìbéèrè tó pọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n dúpẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé ẹ wá mo sì mọ̀ yí pé àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ wọnú ìgbéyàwó náà àwọn náà ń rí wọ́n gbọ́ gbogbo tí ẹ sọ àwọn náà ń kọ́ wọn á ṣe kí ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi wé ọmọ mọ́ ibi tó bá yẹ káwọn náà tún tò Ọlọ́run ó bá wọn tún tò ẹ ṣe gan nílé àtọ̀nà yín kò ní dàrú ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you very much. We really don't have much time, but before I allow you to go, what will you suggest, especially for unions that are, struggling for survival? What will you suggest that they go back to the days of their courtship to make sure that their marriage did not just last, but become an enviable one?
Well, I will suggest perseverance.
Perseverance.
And they go back to their courtship, what they've been doing before, that makes them to bond together, they continue to do it.
They continue to do it. Alhaji, do you also subscribe to it that they should go back to the drawing board?
Perseverance and endurance.
And endurance. Okay.
If we are both open to ourselves, you will know that when it is rosy, we do give out. When it is not rosy, you need to understand as well. The two of you now join yourself in prayer. And when the two of you come together for prayer, God will surely answer.
God will
your prayer.
surely
prayer tó ń sọ
answer.
yẹn dà torí pé prayer àti sùúrù
Yes.
la fi ń ṣọkọ obìnrin.
Okay. Prayer.
But
You know.
when you both pray, owó máa dé.
àtòwó
I
máa ní
like
àdúrà
that.
láti
Tí
gbà.
ọkùnrin bá ní ọkàn ọ̀tọ̀, tóbìnrin náà ní ọkàn ọ̀tọ̀, tó ní ó ń gbàdúrà, àdúrà wọn lè tèmi
àdúrà
náà.
Okay. So when they do it together,
You
owó
understand?
adé.
Of course. Of course.
àdúrà yóò lè mú owó wọlé.
So I must tell you sincerely speaking, if the two of them have
Agree.
free mind and they both agree, Ọlọ́run tètè máa ń gbàdúrà obìnrin tá a fi dọ́kọ lóhùn.
Okay.
Me?
All right. So men, now you have heard our counselors as they have molded us through our marriages. Let's just take the examples, the good ones that they have given us. They will certainly be antidotes for our marital survivals. I'm Anita Buhari. I'm saying thank you very much for your time this morning. Same time next week. Please join us. But before then, ensure you enjoy every bit of your weekend and have a fantastic week ahead.
Ó dáa náà sùúrù àti ìfẹ́ òun náà ni a fi ń ṣe ọkọ obìnrin. Obìnrin náà wá fi ìfẹ́ àti ìtẹríba òun náà fi gbà á yóò fi gbé ìgbésí ayé tó nítumọ̀ láàrin ìgbéyàwó tó jẹ́ pé àwọn méjèèjì àṣekínni wọ́n á ní ìlọsíwájú rẹpẹtẹ tí ó sì bá ọmọ àti orílẹ̀-èdè títí di ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ ẹ wò ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe dáadáa ire o.